In this lecture, what we are going to do, the things that we have theoretically learned in the last lecture, we will try to do them practically so we can understand better. So the things that we discussed was the laws and regulations, how we can structure and create database so that we can store the customer data there. And we studied about different web pages, how we make them interactive. So for making them interactive, we can use tables, text, all of these properties in HTML, and most of them we have already studied. I have done practically the last lecture, like the heading tags we have learned, the link, the body, then the font. These things we have learned practically. Then the types of images and the advantage of dynamic HTML, JavaScript. So these are all the things that we are going to see practically in today's lecture. And I will told you how we can create a CSS file and how we can create a style sheet for any web design. Then how we can create and use database. So these are all the things that we are going to study in today's lecture. So first of all, you have to write XAMPP download for Windows 10. So after doing this, you can see on Apache friendly website, this link will be appear and you have to click here. So it might take some time to load. Okay. After here, you have to select a version for running the XAMPP on your Windows. So I have downloaded the second one. So you can download this one. So you will click here on download and it will start downloading. And after that, you have to just install it with easy steps. I have already downloaded and installed it. So that's why I'm not going to install it again. So you have to do that. Okay. So this is the first thing that you have to do. You have to download the software from this website. Okay. Also, it is clear. After that, after finishing the setup, this kind of interface will be visible to you and you have to click on finish. So after downloading, this kind of panel will visible on your screen. So here we have to, in order to run or create the database, we have to start only two servers here. First one is the MySQL. In the last theory lecture, we have learned about MySQL. MySQL is a server that is used to create and run databases. And for that, we have to write some queries. We also learned in our previous lecture. So when you have installed and configured the XAMPP, so this screen will be visible. And here, whenever we will try to create our database, we have to start the Apache and we have to start the MySQL. So these are the two things we will do when we create the server. So also we have to configure that. How we can configure that? I will told you first download this. So with me, after downloading, you will do step-by-step configuration of XAMPP. Okay. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed what is HTML and also we have created this web page with the name of, I think, blog.html, right? This was created or I think we created this one. So we created this one. So I have opened the wrong folder. This. So we have created this HTML project to understand all the tags. Now let's run and with live server here. So this was the project that we created. Now, what we are going to do here is to add some CSS here, just like we will change the font size, the colors, so that we now in the last lecture we have just structured this project, this mini blog project. Now what we are going to do after structuring, the second thing is styling in web designing and development. So we have structured it. Now we will design it with by using CSS. So for that, the first thing is to create a CSS file when we want to use our external CSS. So here you have to click on new file. You will write style. You can give any name, but most commonly style.css is given like this. Now a CSS file is created. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. This is the main the markup language for writing the styles and designing the web pages. So first thing is to create that style sheet file. Second is to link it with the HTML. If you don't link this external CSS file with HTML file, then we will not able to use it. So here in this file, in index.html, here before the title tag, you will write link like this, the closing tag. Then first you have to write rel, that stands for relation. So here the relation is the style sheet. So in this way we will write style sheet here. After that we have to give the link. For giving the link, we will use href tag. Here we will write the link of our style sheet file, that is style.css. That's it. Now we have to check whether our file is linked or not. For that purpose, let's write some styling here. Let's suppose I want to change the color of h1 tag here. I will give background color, that is aqua, just to see if it is changed or not. We will move there. So our style sheet is successfully attached because the background color of H1 is changed. So this is how we can link our CSS file with our HTML file. Previously, I told you how you can write the internal CSS in this project. Somewhere we have write some CSS here like this. This is how you can write the internal CSS, but we cannot write the lengthy code just like in the internal CSS file, like here in the text. So that's why we need the external CSS file. And now we will learn some attributes of that, some properties here. So in the course mentioned, the properties that we have to learn is the font and the colors, the layers, and then we have the images content. So we will see this one by one. So first property is the font size. Let's suppose we have to change the font size and font style of any tag. Like here, the A tag, the image tag. So before learning this, let me give you the concept of classes and IDs. Okay. While using the CSS, we have two things, the ID and the classes. We can also change the colors by just the tag name. For example, if I want to change the font size of the paragraph tag, I will write P here, the brackets here. For changing the font size, I will write font size and VS Code will provide us this. Here you have to write the value in the pixels form. So example, I want the paragraph tag only 40 pixels. So if let's save it and reload. So you might see the change. So all the paragraphs here are turned wide into 40 pixels. So this was the font size property. Now I want to change the font family. Means here I want to change the style that is written. So whenever you click here on font family, we have different font families. But we have a website where we can get more font families. But for now, we will use some of them. So whenever you write here the font family, so we will use this one. Okay. After that is the font style. So for example, we want it to italic, so you will do italic. So when we do the italic font size, all the paragraphs will be written in italic. You can see. And if you observe, by changing the font family, the writing style is also changed. Okay. Now, if you want to increase the font weight, after the font style here, you can also write underline. We have different font styles like underline, italic, and bold. So you can practice that. After the font style, we have another property called font weight. So in font weight, I have written font family here. In font weight, we can set how much bolder the text we want. So if we set 600, then you can see the text turned into bold. Okay. So these are all the properties that are related to font, the font size, font family, and font weight. After that, we have a universal selector that is static before that. So here we have to do some settings first for our web page. So for that, we have to write this static, shift, then this static will appear, the opening and closing brackets. So why we write this universal selected? If you observe, so let me give the body a background color to explain this. What is it? So body. So for changing the background of something like a background color, we use the background color property. So in this background color, let's turn it blue. So if you observe here, you can see that there is the distance between, there is a gap between the code magazine text and there is also some gap between here. So firstly, we have to remove all of this gap. Okay, this is the first thing that we have to do. So in this universal selector, this static is known as the universal selector. What it will do, all the properties that we will write here will apply to each and every tag. So here you have to write first margin because we don't want margin on the upper and lower or as well as on the sides. So we will write it 0. Then the second thing is padding. So I will explain what is padding and margin just a bit. Then after that, the next thing is box sizing, border box. So these are the three properties that you must have to write after creating a CSS file. So after, if you observe, after writing that piece of code, the space around the text is disappeared. Okay, so this is, you have to do a universal reset. This is known as the universal reset that we have to write after creating a style sheet. So this is done. Now, let's style this a bit. For example, we want to change the color of the code magazine of H1 tag, as well as we want to give a background. So how we can do that? So let's remove it for now. And Yes, this one. So I will, for doing it command, you have to press control plus backslash. So it will comment it out. So here we will write h1 tag. In the h1 tag, I want to change the font color. So you will write the font color property. So like this. Oh, sorry, not font color, only color you have to write. Color can be, what color should we give it? So let's give it aqua white with a background color of, what should be the background color? So let's try some blue, a shade of blue color. So here when you click, you can also use a variation here like this one. Let's suppose. So if you remember, see, after clicking on a variation, we have a RGB format. So if we click here, the format will change into hexadecimal, hexacode. So you can also change it whenever you want a contrast here. So you can see that is not looking too nice. So let's move it here. So um, So you can choose the color you want by dragging here. Yes. In this way, we can choose a color. Okay. Looking much better. So leave it for now. Second thing is the margin and pad. Margin means if you give the margin, then the space between one tag and other tag, it will create a space between two tags. Like if I give margin to H1, it will create a space between this one. And if I give padding here, so it will create a space around this text that is written here. So let me explain this. So let me give some margin here. I will write margin bottom. For example, I want to give the margin from bottom, means from the lower tag, uh, like 20 pixels. Everything you have to write is in the form of pixels. So you can see a space is created between this line and this code. But if I give the padding, what will happen now? Let's give it 10 pixels just for now. So you can see the space is created around this piece of code from here and here. So let me explain more. So if I just give uh, padding left, so what will happen? Only the space from the left side is created like this. Let me give more padding just to see the difference. So you can see more space is created there on the left side. And if I write padding top, so it will just create the space from the top inside the L. You can see this. So this is how we can adjust the padding. But if I write only padding, so it will create space from left, right, bottom, and top. So this is how you can adjust the padding according to your need. But for now, let's leave it for 20 pixels like this. What if I create margin top? What will happen? So you can see if I create margin, right margin property, a gap is created between this and the upper part. So this is the difference between the padding and margin. The margin will create the space outside the text, but the padding will create the space inside the text. So let me show you more about it. So we will inspect this code. Okay, here. So this is known as the box that define the different code. So let's see this. So if I click here on this button, then this tag, h1 tag, so it will explain how much padding we have give, how much margin we have give. So you can see that these are all the colors for for margin. This color is used. So when I click here, so it shows that a margin is created at the bottom. So if I click here, so it shows that the padding is created around this element. You can see when I click on padding, the color is highlighted at the text is highlighted with a color that there's a padding. And if I click here, this shows that this is the element around which all the things are happening. So if I click here on margin, it shows me there is a margin at the bottom, and it also shows us the value, how much margin it is if we want to check it. So we will go here on styles. So here we can see that how much padding. If I remove this, the padding will go. So mostly this inspect is used to test the website, what is happening and how is happening. So if we click on compute, so we can see what the properties are applied and what are not. So there is no border, so that's why the border is not highlighted. What if I give a border? For creating a border, we will write border, then amount of border. For example, I want only 1 pixel. We have different kind of borders like dotted, like solid. Mostly in the solid is used, so I will write solid. Black means the color of the border. If I write this, uh, border property is not applied it here. Okay, no problem. Just let's increase it with 20 pixels. Now let's see. Okay, we cannot apply the border here. So you can see that it is a invalid property because at this time we cannot apply border. So if I remove this, okay. So here we can inspect this, whether we can apply it or not. So here in the inspect, we can see that where we can apply the value or where we cannot. Okay. So let's remove this from here. We will apply the border on some other element. So hope so you understand the concept of padding and margin. These are the two important things in designing. The second thing is the concept of classes and IDs. What are they? Now let's suppose I just want to give a background color to just this paragraph, the third. But how I can do it? If I do this like P background color, what should we choose? Okay, this one. What will happen? All the paragraphs will change, but I only want to change this third paragraph. How we can do it? It's a problem here. To solve this problem, there is a concept of classes and IDs. Now, what is the concept of classes and IDs? So, first of all, let me give another concept called div. Div is also a tag, like the other tag. It will create a container in which we can enclose other uh, tags. So, it will be a bit confusing. Just leave it for now. So, if I give a class here to this paragraph, I will call this paragraph. For writing a class, we have to write the class attribute like this class. Then the name of the class, let's give web details. You can give any. So this is done. Now what will happen? Now I have to just change the color of this text, or I have to only apply styles on this paragraph. So I will choose the name of the class from here, copy this, and the syntax for changing, doing that changing is to write dot then the name of that class, brackets. Now I can easily change the background color of it.